Everybody just laughed. It was, oh, hey, we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the show. It's Thursday night, and on Thursday nights, I like to art with my besties and just talk about what's going on. And I'm going to let you know up front, um, we've already started experiencing technical issues. I downloaded all of the easels that were sent to me. Ivy sent me some easels, and Pamela sent me some easels last week. So I had some of her frogs and stuff, and I had them all downloaded in a folder. And that folder is not opening up for me. And so I went back to the email to open the email, and that email won't download the images. It says that it can't. It says that it can't download the images. So I am a little frustrated with that. I don't know how we're going to do what's on your easel. We may have to skip that this week, which is a shame because I had some nice frogs and some nice video and some coloring sheets from Ivy. Some nice digital art from Ivy that I would love to have shown off. She did this really nice thumbnail of the two of us together last week, and then didn't get to use it because I didn't show last week. And so I was all happy and excited to show it to you, and now for some reason my software is glitching. But it wasn't David Allan Coe who wrote The Obstacle is the Way. So that's how you know that you're going in the right direction, is because you're running into obstacles.
Like devil interference.
Yeah, it's kind of like the devil interferes with you when you're doing the Lord's work. The obstacle is the way. So I see Ivy's in the chat. Hi, Ivy. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know how loud the music is, if you can even hear the music, because I can't hear the Christmas music.
No, I can't hear it.
Really? Is it not playing?
I cannot hear it.
How about now? You have to give it a minute. It's on a lag.
Yes.
Is it too loud?
Very soft, but I can hear.
Very soft. Okay. I saw that, Ivy. I saw it. And if I'd have known you were going to do that, sweetie, I would have. There's a thing on YouTube where you can send your viewers someplace else when you're done streaming. I forget what it's called. If I had known you were going to do that, I would have set that up, and it would have gone and had everything go straight to you. But we were talking. We got the email from the Renaissance Fair a few weeks ago, and we were talking about how we wanted to get our costumes ready for Ren Fair, and the idea that I have for Ren Fair this time around is that I want to have a bearskin a bearskin robe, a bearskin cloak to wear over my Scottish fairy outfit that I usually wear. I wear a black artist t-shirt and a kilt, a blue kilt to match my motorcycle, and then I wear black socks and sandals because I can. It's comfy. And then I wear, or I might have my dad's shoes on. It just depends on my mood that day. And then I have fairy wings that I wear. And I walk around. The first thing I do when I get to the fairgrounds is I buy a bottle of mead, and I polish that off pretty quickly because it's really only about 4 glasses of mead in a bottle. And so I'll finish the bottle of mead, but then the whole rest of the time I'm there, I will refill it with water, and then I'll drink from it and look like I'm taking swigs from it the whole time. Yeah, I can show you here. My little girl's over here showing me I've got one at the end of the table. So I just refill this with water the whole time I'm walking around the fairground, so it looks like I'm just chugging the mead the whole time I'm there. And I thought that this year I would like to have a bearskin robe to go with my persona. And when I started looking for bearskin, for bearskin robes, the first thing that came up in my search was Winnie the Pooh, and I thought, oh my God, yes, I'm already sold. I'm done. This is exactly what I need. I need Winnie the Pooh as a bearskin robe. And so there's a Winnie the Pooh onesie on Amazon, and I'm going to get the Winnie the Pooh onesie, and I'm gonna wear it, and I'm going to drape it around my shoulders like a bearskin robe, and mount the head like right here on my shoulder. But because I was looking at bears, I thought, you know what? I'm drawing a bear. I don't think I've ever tried to draw and paint a bear, so I thought I'd give it a shot. See how I feel about it. That is how we got to the subject of bears for tonight's episode. But it's hard to make a bear look like a bear and not a dog, because they are related. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. We talk about that kind of stuff in the mornings. On the evening show, it's just fun times painting. But it's hard.
With the red leaded pencil.
What's that?
Are you sketching with the red leaded pencil?
It's a watercolor pencil, and it's vermilion.
Oh, I should have known it was vermilion. Okay. I think I have a set.
But yeah, it's a watercolor pencil, so that when I come back through with my watercolors, it won't interfere with the watercolors. It'll just wash away. You can, after a while, I'll do another illustration, and I'll do it with lead pencil with graphite, and you can see the difference in how the wax in the graphite isn't miscible. Miscible means that it will dissolve in water. So when I get to that illustration, you'll get to see the difference. I mean, I could show you the difference now, but I'm kind of busy. I'm still trying to figure out how to make this more bear-like. Because it looks like looks a little bit like a German Shepherd to me. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife, man. I need the bare necessities. That's how a bear can rest ease. Just the bare necessities of life.
I need to watch that movie.
Yes,
It's a happy movie.
It is a happy movie. All the way up until
Don't go there.
Mowgli gets abducted by aliens.
Well, the bear's nose looks like a German Shepherd nose.
It does. It really does.
Not just your drawing, but in your image
I know.
as well.
I know. They're related. They're very much related.
I'll ask my dog if she's related to a bear.
They are. They're both in the. They're both. They deviated from each other about 20 million years ago. 60 million years ago. No, that's right. No, that was right. They deviated from each other about 20 million years ago. Ivy says she's working on the butterfly page she started a while back and almost swapped to a koala bear page, but we all know they aren't actually bears. If you watch the morning show, you certainly know that. You also know that they live their lives getting stoned off of eucalyptus leaves.
You know, it's nothing personal, but I'm gonna throw all of my headsets away and get new ones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think that'll help?
No, but I'm hoping.
Making a little Payne's gray here. I like it a little warm. We'll see how we do here with some shading. You can't fix a bad drawing with shading and paint, but we're going to try.
Oh wait, this is your part.
This is my favorite part. This is the part that brings the whole thing to life, that gives the whole thing shape. Up until now, it's just lines on a page, but once you do this part, it has form and structure. And I love this part. But there's too much paint in my brush. And I'm getting too dark too fast. And I don't know how to use the small brushes first.
Your helper has a pretty color shirt on.
My what?
Your helper.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Yes, she is. What'd she say?
She said she looks like her mommy.
No, she looks like herself. Not that her mommy's not beautiful, but she looks like herself.
Yeah, all right. All right, let me dry this and then we can move into some color. Ivy says it's officially kayaking season, so if you want to go, just let her know. I haven't been kayaking in 40 years, 30 years. It's been over 30 years. I've not been kayaking since I've been with my wife. They took me river rafting a couple of years ago and tried to kill me. We were floating down the river, and we were holding on to each other's rafts. And it was just the two of us. Everybody else had kind of gone off and left us, and it was just the two of us. Okay, you guys, make sure you can still hear me. Okay, so we were floating down the river, and we were holding on to each other's rafts, and we decided to go down. There's this one exciting spot where there's a slide. We decided to go down the slide on the rafts together instead of walking it around. And in doing so, I started to lose my shorts. And it's bathing shorts. You know, there's nothing on underneath the bathing shorts. You know, it's kind of like my kilt. It's traditional. and so I let go of the raft to catch my bathing suit, and then my shoe fell off, and so I had to catch my other shoe. I had to try to catch my shoe, and I caught my other shoe, and then the raft flipped up from underneath me, still tied to her, and it went flying. So now I'm in this water that's, I don't know, 7 foot deep. It's 1,000 feet deep. There's super strong currents. Super strong currents. And I'm a good swimmer, but she's never seen me swim. So
always been in the hot tub while I'm in the pool.
So she had no idea I could swim. I'm a pretty decent swimmer because, you know, I've been around pools almost my entire life. When I was a little kid, my dad put an above ground pool in the backyard, and so I've always been swimming. And so, you know, I popped up and swam over to the side of the river. A couple of guys helped me up out of the river, saw that I was distressed and helped me up out of the river. And I'm looking for my little girl. I don't have my glasses on because I locked them up in the locker before we left. And my little girl is desperately trying to watch for me to pop up back from under the water, which I didn't. And she's desperately watching. And so I call out to her the way I always call out to her. Oi! She looks over at me. She sees me. And you can see the wave of relief wash across her. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's because the water went from standable to not standable consistently. There was no maybe I can reach. And we come off and he falls and I'm laughing and he doesn't come back up and I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, the slide's on a dam.
Yeah. So then we go further, it floats me further down, and I realize that there's people that are, like, shorter than me, and I was like, oh, and they're standing, okay, so I can get out. So then I'm holding both our rafts, looking around in this sea of people, and he's not there.
Yeah, and the slide, like I said, the slide's on a dam. What do you mean?
Is your broadcast okay?
Yeah, everything seems to be okay on my end. Yeah, everything seems to be going okay on my end. Anyway, so yeah, on the one side of the dam you can't stand up. On the other side of the dam you can stand up. And had I just gone 3 whole feet in the direction that she had gone, I could have just stood up and everything would have been fine. But I didn't. I instead went to the other side where I saw the ledge that I could climb out. I did a journal page about it. There's actually a video. If you go back and look through my videos, you'll see there's actually a video on there where I talk about how I about died. Yeah, she tried to kill me. She just let go of me. Sent me over the edge, tried to kill me. Yeah, I lost my shoe. She lost her favorite water bottle.
Well, no, I had my water bottle with me, and while we were walking away, I set it on the ledge to call Mom. And then we started walking away, and I forgot my water bottle on the ledge. So it was brand new, too.
But on the plus side,
I got a zipper.
yeah,
On the plus side.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
My bad. You live?
We did live. And you got a new water bottle.
I did.
Had to walk back with one shoe on the hot pavement.
It's like June.
It was June, very hot.
But you wish you had your little yellow Crocs then.
I do wish I had my little yellow Crocs then. But yeah, I about died. Let's see here.
If I would have been the one that fell off, I would have actually
Ivy says otherwise this should be poltergeist night.
Ivy says what?
Otherwise this should be poltergeist tonight. They're coming up from the ground. Oh, we have Era 123 GC in vertical.
Hi, Ara. You like to paint too? Cool. I love to paint. We got Nick's or my son. My dog's afraid to come out. We have to put essence of tree in the background over here. Essence of tree. I'm so glad she came to get us.
She's just standing there.
It's so much better when she comes to get us than when we find it later. I put that one green down first because I want some difference between them. I want that darker green just to spread into the lighter green. I don't want there to be any definite lines because this is the background. This is not the important part of the painting.
That's Noel on vertical.
Hi, Noel. Today's a pretty good day.
No more bad days.
No more bad days. I think we can move to a smaller brush now. Let me dry this real quick so we can move to the next, to a more detailed layer and a smaller brush. Yeah, I haven't been kayaking. It's like I said, it's been at least 35 years since I've been kayaking.
Noel?
Yeah, I said hi.
That's Ivy's cousin.
Noel is Ivy's cousin. Well, hello, Ivy's cousin. Can't talk, Arting. What?
Close.
Who? What?
Baby.
Oh.
It's close.
Are you stalking the boy?
Yes.
My boy went to the beach today with his girlfriend and some other friends. They had some tests this morning. What?
We have a lot RPG.
Where?
The vertical.
Hi, Locke. But my boy and his girlfriend and some other friends went down to the beach today after he got done with his tests. He's no longer a sophomore. He is now a junior. And so he went to the beach to celebrate with his friends being out of school.
He's gonna be a sunburned puppy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's already sunburned.
Yeah, that's what I mean. His neck was already crispy.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? When he gets here, I'm gonna hide the Dr. Pepper.
Why would you do that?
Because he needs to drink water.
Oh.
We don't have Dr. Pepper. But if we did, I would hide it. But no, I go buy it.
He on his way home?
Oh, yeah. They decided to come home at like 5:30 from Galveston to Houston.
Oh my lord.
Right?
They're dropping someone off right now, from what I can see. He's not far. He's in between you and us.
Oh, okay. I'll wave.
I got you. I'm stalking him. It's my job. You cannot escape me.
Did I cut you off?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
I'm having a little trouble getting used to my new setup.
Yeah, I saw your picture. You got a pretty bougie setup there.
Too many things to keep track of now.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What Ivy says he streams vertical and horizontal? Oh, Ivy popped over into the horizontal to chat with Noel because I stream both vertical and horizontal. Could be. I've called you Mariposa your whole life. Mariposa, find someplace to light. Your whole life I've said that to you. You just flit from one spot to the next. I forgot what was doing.
You were telling me how I'm your favorite kid.
No,
I love you so
I'm pretty
much.
sure that wasn't it.
What is
No, I forgot which part of the painting process I was in. I started moving into fine details, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm not ready for fine details. I'm still adding the hints of color. Can't talk. Already, I say that a whole lot, don't I?
Because if you don't say it, you're like, how do you know?
Yeah. What happened to your audio? Sorry, I just can't talk and art at the same time.
That's why you bring me.
I used to bring you because I could just tell you to sing and you would sing.
We spent a lot of it.
Huh?
I don't know. Is she someplace where lilac grows?
I don't know.
Ask her.
I think I just did. Ivy, are you someplace where lilac grows?
We're making progress with the Battle of the Squirrels.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, is the PVC pipe
Yeah.
working?
They can't climb the PVC pipe for real.
Yes! If nothing else, we'll get some slinkies.
Yep. Oh, if a bird's dropped food on the ground and the squirrels eat it.
How are the kittens doing, Ivy? My mom put a bird feeder in. My mom and dad put a bird feeder in, and it has a camera on it. They are now professional bird watchers. Can you pull up the app?
Yeah. I signed in with their public account and everything. Well, pro stop it.
And
Good call.
they watch the birds fight over the food. It's really quite funny. I can't tell what's more funny, the birds fighting over the food or the fact that my parents are watching it.
You should have seen how
Pull it
angry
up.
your father was when he found the piece the squirrels had chewed apart. 7 kittens.
7.
So you can see the view from the bird feeder.
Noelle's from Arkansas.
Arkansas.
There we go.
Ivy doesn't know where the
So
7th
misty.
one came from.
How do we back it up? That's the view from my mom's bird feeder that we can watch anytime, day or night. All right, let me dry this. I think I want to dry it, and I think I want to darken the background just a little bit, especially around the bare especially around the edge of the bear, so that the highlight, I've got an ochre highlight around the outside of the bear, and I want that to really pop. And if you want something to appear light, you make everything around it dark. So let me dry this real quick because we don't want this to smear or spread. All right. Now let's see what we can do here. Go. Start by getting the page damp where I want to work. And I'm going to take some of this green and some of this blue, and I'm just going to go over the whole thing with it. Does need pink glitter. You're absolutely right. That's not enough. Let's make it a little darker. I wet the page down first. Paint will spread around where I want it to. Hopefully stay out of the dry areas. It's an art, not a science. There we go. That's just almost exactly what I wanted to happen. Sure. Oh yeah.
They have like an orangey undertone right under the bark, and they're native to, like, they're all over North Texas, New Mexico.
Right after you said ponderosa pine, all I could think was dun 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 bananas.
because of that part, they actually do really well in areas where fires catch often.
Yep.
Which is why they do a good job up there. And I think it's also the same one where their pine cones actually open up easier if they're on fire.
Sequoias are that way. If there's not a fire, sequoias can't breed properly.
Yeah, so they do a lot of prescribed burnings in the areas
Yeah.
that they grow.
Well, the fire prevention in California almost made sequoias go extinct. All right, I need to dry that so I can sign it. Otherwise, I'll sit here and keep messing with it.
And then it can go in my pocket.
Here.
Hey, Joe. I'm glad to see you. Just wrapping this one up. Move on to. You made it almost in time for the break. All right, so let's get this tape up here. I'm gonna have to buy more watercolor pads. Is my microphone still working? Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me through the computer, or can you hear me through the phone?
No.
Okay.
You know, now that I'm using speakerphone, I could put a Bluetooth on. Since I have two computers, I could put a Bluetooth on each computer and have different things in both ears.
You could. You sure?
That is in my household.
You sure enough could.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you've got to say both ways.
All right. All righty then. Thanks, Ivy.
I like that.
So there is the first bear with a butterfly. Let me see. What I need is for that to be there, and for that to be there.
Interesting story with that just then.
What's that?
There's a whole group of high school graduates at Galveston
Yeah?
on a roller coaster.
Yeah?
And you know when you go over the top of the roller coaster and then around the edge,
Yeah?
they're stuck there up in the air. The roller coaster stops. It's stuck.
Well, it's not my son because he's home.
Double came in there to see if that was just quickly still there.
Nope, he's home.
Good. Oh, I've been supposed to get my stomach done that.
Yeah, there comes a time. I think Gallagher, the comedian, is the one that said that at one point in your life you realize that your butt's not supposed to go over your head anymore. Hasn't happened for my wife yet. She still loves roller coasters. But it happened for me a few years ago, to say the least. All right. So that's our first bear and butterfly. We're going to take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll do an illustrated version. Not of this one. We're going to do a different bear altogether. But we'll take about a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back. Let's see. Is that going to work?
Dinosaurs? You got dinosaurs?
There's only one dinosaur. This is a turtle.
What's a turtle?
Uh-huh.
What is that?
A penguin.
Penguin? Oh, that's not a dinosaur. I see it. And then we have, what is this? A flower?
A flower and a spider. Dad, can you move this? And you have to trace it over and then like...
Oh, I see. Okay, this goes in here like this.
Mm-hmm. And then you put this in to squeeze the Play-Doh out.
Oh. So then we could take a big lump of Play-Doh like this.
Mm-hmm. I can put a little bit in.
Stick it in there like that.
And then squeeze it out.
Squeeze it out.
And then make a moon.
Like a big moon syringe.
Uh-huh. And then you just cut it off. See? And then you just cut it off because you don't want it to stick all over. Now I have to cut it.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to be long to mess up your Play-Doh. There you go.
And then you have to be sure and get it out every time.
Uh-huh.
Why?
You have to get that out.
Why?
So it can't be dirty and dry out the Play-Doh.
So it won't be dirty and dry out the coat.
Hey, I need to put
I just want to make...
another moon.
Yeah.
I want to make a circle. Or a star. And you have to squish it so it can go in there. Or you can like fold it where there's... When you see hair, you have to fold it so your mothers can't see it.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Artistic Biker live from Oasis Studios. How's everybody doing? You can tell there's chaos here. I tell you what, this has been a crazy day. I've had the day off, which always makes me weird because we have the Rock Island Arts Festival going on, and it's not started yet. Today we were setting up. Wow, yes. The Artistic Biker, a proven defense against the zombie apocalypse. Raindrops are falling on my head, just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling.
Friends, have you ever wanted to be able to draw or paint better? Have you ever thought, I wish I could draw a cat? Well, friends, think no more, for I have just the product you're looking for. That's right, friends. This magic product secret that I've given you for free today is all you will ever need to be the next Andy Warhol or Pablo Picasso or even Leonardo da Vinci. All you need to be a great artist is just a little bit of practice. Why, friend, if you just use practice for a few minutes every day, there's no limit to the things you might accomplish. With just 10 minutes of practice, your cat can go from looking like this to this. And friends, if you have tried, practiced, and witnessed its power firsthand, please consider going to theartisticbiker.com and clicking that donate button. Every penny you donate will go to help someone less fortunate learn about the power of practice. And keep remembering to tune to the Artistic Biker Live every Thursday night from 6 to 8 Central Time at artisticbiker.com/Ustream. That's the letter U, stream.
All right. All right. I think we're back. Feels like we're back. So I need to change out. I should have done that before I turned the cameras back on. Change back to my normal tools. You know, I painted this bear. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I painted this bear with the exact same paint set that I used on the morning show. That's supposed to be all the muted colors. I didn't even touch the college fund. But I hope Pamela and Rick are okay. The chat's real quiet. We got Joe and Ivy and Noelle and Ara in the chat between the two, between the horizontal and the vertical. And we've got my mom and my dad. Of course, my dad's not chatting, but my mom and my dad chat. So if you're watching and you're not chatting, give us a shout out. Just say here and say, I can't talk, I'm arting. That's what I always say. Can't talk, arting. The bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your stuff. What?
Joe can't talk, he's eating.
Can't talk.
He's close to arting.
Can't talk, eating. I know. I think I've got eating down to an art. I mean the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest in peace with just the bare necessities. That's probably conflicting with the Christmas music. But I can't hear the Christmas music. I should fix that at some point. Since I'm the one I'm playing the Christmas music because I like the Christmas music, you'd think I'd fix it so I could hear it. Alrighty, that's enough pencil marks. Pencil marks get confusing. If you put too many pencil marks down, the pencil marks get confusing. Do. One thing about the morning shows, we always have something to talk about. There's just not a whole lot going on that I'm able to talk about on this show. There's a lot of politics going on in the world. There's a lot of angry people doing angry things. But this is just a nice place for us to come and hang out. Forget all that stuff for a few minutes. And focus on what we all have in common is the desire to create. It's part of the human condition to be creative. I'm a firm believer that everybody is creative. You just have to figure out what you're creative about and do that. And if you don't practice your creativity, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never feel like a whole person. But it doesn't have to be drawing and painting or singing and dancing or poetry or writing or song or anything like that. It could be childcare. It could be math. If you don't think there's creativity in finance, you've never filled out an expense report or done taxes. I guarantee you will find creativity there. I know there was a period of time when I wasn't doing anything creative, and it kind of drug my whole life down. And now I look forward every day to arting with my besties every morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. We get up at 5:30 and do my practice sketches while I talk about what I'm drawing. And then every Thursday night, we get together and art together. And it just makes for a fantastic lifestyle. Just makes me happy. I'm really glad y'all showed up to share it with me. My needed eraser about got away from me. Do. I think my little girl went to go make food for the baby. Baby is 16.
He's probably starving.
He is probably starving. He is probably starving to death, is right. You know, when I was 16, I don't think I ever stopped eating. I was working at Little Caesars, and we could have all the crazy bread and pizza we wanted. I don't think I ever stopped eating. I was going to show you the Winnie the Pooh onesie that I was going to wear, that I was going to buy, and cut up into a bear skin robe for Ren Fair. But I got excited and I started working on the bear again. I just moved on to the next bear.
Totally different look from this stage of the first one.
Yeah, this is illustration. The other one was painterly. This one is in an illustration style.
What style do you like that?
Illustration. I don't see any point in doing photorealism because I already have the photograph. I don't need to reproduce the photograph. So I don't want to not do it because I can't do it. I want to not do it because I choose not to do it. That's why we must practice that. I practice it. It doesn't mean that it's my favorite thing to do. It's just something that, like I said, I want to not do it by choice. I don't want to not do it because I can't. And so I practice. And that's really what I practice in the mornings, is kind of a mix between the two, because I try to draw exactly what I see in the mornings, but I try to draw it in an illustrative manner.
I would say she agrees. She wants it real in that essence of.
Yeah, I like the Impressionists. I like Monet and Rembrandt. I like the Impressionists. Their Impressionist stuff, where you can tell it's a boat, you can tell it's a flower, you can tell it's a tree, you can tell it's a woman holding a flower on a boat next to a tree. You can tell all that stuff, but it's not. They don't spend their whole time defining that stuff. They leave it up to you to decipher it. Essence of. Okay, I think we have all of our base layers down. One more. I need some yellow on that butterfly. I purposely didn't color it first because I knew Ivy it would upset Ivy. I know she needs that kind of drama. Let me dry that, and we can come back with the next layers. Right. Now let's take some of that blue. Let's bring that blue down from the sky over this grassy plain in the background. Push that to the back. Could move to a smaller brush. But I'm not gonna. Get a little bit darker blue, and we'll get these blades down here that are in the front because they're kind of silhouetted against our bear. And then let's move into shading our bear. That's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of the whole process. It turns the two-dimensional drawing into a shape.
Noel figured out how to hop to the horizontal.
All right. That's where all the cool kids are anyway. That is without a doubt my favorite part of the whole process. Because that turns the whole thing, changes the whole thing. Now, we need a touch of vermilion. Just a smidge of vermilion. I think my beautiful young bride's home. You know what? It's not time for vermilion. I need to dry that, or it'll just turn into mud. Everything was dry but my butterfly. Did you see me smear my butterfly? Everything was dry but him. All right, let's see here. Let's see. I'm not ready for the smaller brush yet. Put some vermilion down.
You know, it may be graduation in Western Oklahoma.
Maybe. They may be having a date night. Who knows? They're a couple of crazy kids. They do crazy stuff. Now I can move to the smaller brush. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. I think my brush is too small. I need something in between. Da-na-na, dun, 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 da-na-na-na. Dun, 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 da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. Are you going quilting Saturday?
No,
This isn't quilt hop Saturday?
no, we don't start again until the end of June.
Oh.
Then we start a new year. I might go quilting, but it'll be in my sewing room.
I got you.
Or I might go on an adventure.
We love adventures.
Yep. Depends on if it's raining or not.
Is raining meaning it will happen or it won't?
Oh, I'll be home.
Oh, tomorrow?
Saturday.
What's Saturday?
Whether or not she goes quilting on Saturday. Whether or not she goes on an adventure.
With your buddy?
How's your buddy? I haven't heard from your buddy in a while. How's she doing?
I haven't heard from her.
Oh no. Maybe we should do a wellness check.
Yeah, I'll call her tomorrow. She's real busy with her quilting. She has several projects she's doing.
Is she doing it or is she having you do it?
No, these are hers.
Moira said peanuts.
No, I said yes.
I do. I just do her. The ones we'll start in June, I just do those for.
You see this drop of paint that fell off right there at the
You should tape up the thing and you should do splatters everywhere.
last second.
I had an art project for 3D design and I
Whoa.
was staining wood.
That's why what art teaching you.
Yeah, you gotta get in there and learn how to fix those things quickly.
So I just splattered the paint everywhere so nobody could tell.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I said to do. But I was painting and it splattered just a little bit. And I was like, oh, I just splattered all of it. You never know. Exactly. Look at you.
I thought about that right after I did it. There we go. A papi le gusta. Let me dry this real quick, then we can ink it. How are we doing on time? Oh, good Lord, it's 8:30 already. Okay. I have just a couple of spots. I can't tell because the paint was so thick when it spattered. I can't tell if it's wet or if it's just shiny. I can tell you if you're going to use a paper towel to pick it up, go straight on, then straight off. Otherwise you're smeared. All right, let's ink this bad boy. You think I still need to look at the reference photo? Or do you think I've pretty much know what I'm doing at this point? I quit looking at the reference photo a long time ago. I quit looking at the reference photo a long time ago. Can't talk. Can't talk. Do. I like this one. I think it turned out kind of nice. Can't you just see that on a t-shirt? Ivy got the background done on her page. She's not quite finished with it yet. I don't know if I'll be able to art along with you tomorrow. It's the end of the month. It's the last working day of the month for us. So I don't know if I'll be free to art along with you tomorrow, but I will have you on and watching you in the background. What is today? Today is the 28th of May. So there's how he turned out. So there we have our two different styles of bears, painterly, illustrative. For the vertical we have illustrative and painterly. I kind of like them both. I'm not sure. I like this one better. Had more fun with this one. This one feels more like art to me. This one feels like paint by the numbers. This one feels like art to me. And I'm sure some people feel exactly the opposite of that. Some people feel like the painterly style is the more artistic expression and the illustrative style is more paint by the numbers or sketchy. But to me, this is the art side because it's got way more creativity involved in it. And this side to me is more trying to capture a photo of something that already exists. So those are my bears. Before I go, I would like to show you this cool thing that happened. Dun, dun, dun. If I can. Nope. This is a thing that happened. Got my coloring book approved on Amazon, and it's got a lot of stuff in it like this. Space shuttle, crescent wrench, frog. Anyway, it's on Amazon. You can just look for my name, Jonathan Manning. It should come up. But I bet if you looked up Jonathan Manning Random Objects, it was absolutely come up. But yeah, that's a thing that happened. So I'm really kind of pleased with that. But here we are. You know what? I never even turned this light on, and that's the light that lights up this whole page, so that you can really see the colors. So that's what we did tonight. Showing it again for the vertical because I can't show both on the vertical at the same time. I wonder if I could do it like this. Oh, I can. Yeah, I can do it that way. When is your next Amazon order, Ivy? Don't get in too big a hurry. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like I always say, arting with my besties is my favorite time of the day. I do it every day at 5:30 in the morning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be arting, and we're going to do this Belgian hare. We'll draw and paint this Belgian hare, and we'll talk about how it's not really a hare; it's a rabbit that's been bred to look like a hare, and how it caused the rabbit futures market to start and caused a lot of people to lose a lot of money on the rabbit futures market in the early 1900s. We'll talk about that and more things at 5:30 in the morning when we draw a random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier every morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. So set your alarms, set your notification bells so you don't miss out. And then every Thursday we get together and we just arc for the fun of it. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Joe, Ivy, Ara, Noel, Mom, Dad. Did I miss anybody?
Yep.
Who did I miss?
Lock.
Locke. Yes, Locke. I'm sorry, Locke. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Be sure and tune in next time. Well, we can go next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing. Because when they see me dancing, I will know that the lag has caught up with the stream. And I will know that I won't get cut off mid-sentence. Because being cut off mid-sentence is rude. Nobody likes that. Gives everybody a chance to say hello and goodbye to each other. Gives you a chance to click the clicky thingies this way if you're on the horizontal, or this way if you're on the vertical. And that would take you to another great video just like this. But the most important thing